And I'm going to call the Access and Visitation Hotline from the Texas Attorney General, and we're going to see if what resources they can direct us to and what they have for us, and even if they acknowledge Texas Penal Code 25.03. So I'm going to be calling 1-866-292-4636, and that's the number that's on the website. So here we go.
Thank you for calling the Access and Visitation Hotline. Please wait while we try to connect you with one of our agents. Gracias por llamar a la línea de acceso y visitación. Por favor, esperar until it was received. You are caller number 5.
I'm still number 5. So apparently they're having 5 other parents that are having access and visitation issues throughout the state. I'm number 1.
You are caller number
1.
1.
All right, here we go. Maybe it won't take another 5 minutes.
Thank you for calling the Access and Visitation Hotline. I need to inform you that I'm not an attorney. I can't give you legal advice. I can provide you information and referrals regarding access and visitation and other related matters. I'm also required to report anything mentioned that leads me to believe that a child is being abused or neglected. You can remain anonymous, but I do need to ask you a few demographic questions for grant reporting purposes before we start, okay?
Okay.
Okay, thank you. How are you referred to us?
I got your phone number off the Access and Visitation Hotline on the internet. So I'm having problems.
How many children are you calling about?
2.
Okay, are you the custodial or the non-custodial parent?
I'm the non-custodial parent, but I've been having some retention. I've been having some retention issues, and this Friday I'm supposed to have spring break, and their mom's already telling me that she's not going to send them over, and that's my spring break.
Let me finish asking you these questions, and then we'll totally get to your question.
Okay.
I have to ask a few questions for grant reporting. That's all. Are you required to pay child support for any other children?
No, just mine.
Okay. Are you currently married?
No.
Were you ever married to the other parent?
I was.
You were. Okay. What is your race or ethnicity?
Hispanic.
Okay. Are you a veteran?
No.
Okay. And what is your estimated income? This is the last question. What is your estimated annual income? Is it less than $10,000, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, or 40 or more?
20 to 30.
Okay. Great. Thank you for answering those questions. How can I help you today?
And that's for grant funding?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so I have visitation orders, and they're already telling me that they're not going to let me see my kids, and I don't have money to keep going back into court. I've been in and out of court, and I file my motion for enforcement, and then it doesn't go anywhere, and so now I'm back in the same place, and there's no. I get no help. The cops tell me it's a civil matter, and I just got turned on to this group that tells me that it's a state jail felony, or it's in the penal code or something, and I was wondering if you could tell me something about that and how to do it.
About how to make the other party have consequences?
Well, no, I mean, I just want to have visitation with my children. I mean, but
Right.
When the other parent holds that child back, I consider it child abuse, and my children want to be with me, and I just wanted to know what the Attorney General could do to help me, because, I mean, there's a lot of people, I guess, in my same situation, and somebody told me about this Texas Penal Code Club, and they're saying that just to call 911, but when I call 911, they tell me it's a civil matter. And so, what do I do?
Okay, what if your custody order says that you can have them every first, third, and fifth weekend? Do you have a standard custody order?
Yes.
Okay, and she just is not there when you go to pick them up, or?
Yes, she's not there. It's and then this week it's going to be spring break, so.
Right, and you're supposed to have them, but she said you couldn't have them.
And then when I call the police, they tell me it's a civil matter, so.
Right. I mean, the main
but I've done that already. Is there anything else I can do? I mean, can the Attorney General, like, tell her or send her a notice or something?
What happened when you filed for enforcement last time?
They told her not to do it again?
Okay. Okay. Can you hold on 1 second?
Sure.
Sir, how did you file for the enforcement last time? Was it through a DRO or through poll?
Well, I talked to somebody at DRO, but what is poll?
Poll is the parenting order legal line, but that depends on what county you live in. What county do you live in?
Bexar County.
There, yeah. So you would talk to your DRO, your domestic relations office, and they can help you file another enforcement. Unfortunately, sometimes it takes more than one time.
But
For
on
the
the
enforcement to work.
the DRO, they said I didn't qualify because they live down south and I live here, and she lives in a small town in South Texas, and they have the DRO said that they had a whole bunch of requirements that I needed to file, but do I file for the enforcement criminally or civilly?
I think it's civilly, but I'm gonna give you the number for a lawyer referral service. So you can talk to a lawyer for 30 minutes for $20. They can better help answer legal questions, because I can't answer legal questions.
Okay, well, the problem is that I've already hired an attorney, and then the DRO. I mean, they tell me that I got to meet certain requirements, and then I'm just I'm all out of funds, and I'm just trying to take little Johnny and Jimmy to the ball game, and I don't I don't have money to keep spending and spending and spending. The last enforcement was almost $7,500, and then they just told her to show up, and then she just doesn't do it again. And so I just can't keep paying and paying and paying. Are there any other programs that you can offer me besides talking to an attorney?
No, I mean, other than talking to the DRO or talking to an attorney,
So the state of Texas.
I mean, you could try and file it by on your own if that's something you wanted to do, but it's pretty complicated.
So I mean, I'm just kind of confused, because I thought when I called this Access and Visitation that maybe they would tell me some other programs that I could get into other than the DRO, because the DRO, like I said, I think one of the stipulations was you gotta make 40 or less a year, which I'm right around there, take home, and then both parents got to live, I believe, in a certain proximity, and then you got to go through all these courses and stuff. And so, being tapped out and everything else, I was just wondering if maybe this Access and Visitation Hotline could do a little something different for me, and maybe, lead me to something else that, like free legal services or pro se lawyers. Because
Right. No, I understand what you're saying, but we're a hotline and we provide education and information about access and visitation, and can answer questions about child custody and visitation and things like that, things in your support order if you have questions about that, or but we don't offer legal services.
I'm confused by that last statement. So it's an Access and Visitation Hotline, but y'all don't give any.
We can't give legal advice.
You can't give legal advice. And then, but I mean, you can't. But there are no services for, I mean, the non-custodial parent, correct?
Well, I mean, other than the DRO or calling a private attorney,
Well, that's
I
what.
don't have any other services for you.
I'm really kind of disappointed in this hotline because, I mean, you asked me a series of questions for grant issues and you want to know the demographics, you know, of who I am, you know, for grant. And then I call and then all you tell me is, you know, to hire an attorney or call the DRO, you know, and I'm on this Facebook group and they keep telling me something about interference with child custody. It's a state jail felony, and you know, I should call the police and they should help me. But you know, I don't know anything about that. And then I was going to ask the attorney general if this is a state law, then how come they're not enforcing it and making me go to another attorney and keep paying for legal services when I don't have any money to keep going to legal services?
Right, okay. Can you hold on 1 second?
Sure.
Sir?
Yes.
Those are the only services that I can refer you to. I can refer you also to a legal aid if you'd like. You said you're in Bear County?
Yeah. The Rio Grande legal deal, I already went and saw them. And they don't do family law.
They don't what?
They don't do family law.
They don't do family law?
No, they put you on a waiting list, and then you gotta go see them in 3 weeks, and then you know I went there. I went to St. Mary's looking for legal services at the St. Mary's Law Library, and then you know it just. I mean, what do I do? I mean, if I don't have money, and then they're already telling me they're going to deny me on Friday, you know, and I'm not going to see my kids, and I've had this issue before. I mean, I don't understand why, you know, y'all all want my child support, but nobody wants to help me see my kids.
I understand that you're frustrated. I mean, I would be too.
I think there's a problem. Well, I'll let you go, but you know, I just wanted to, you know, really, I'm kind of at wit's end right now that you know, that they have this access and visitation hotline, you know, that it tells you to call if you're having access and visitation issues, and I'm calling and I'm telling you I'm fixing to have issues on Friday, and I've had issues before, and you know, I'm trying to do the best that I can, and I just want to take Jimmy and Johnny to the ball game, and then you know it just seems like I don't know, you know, what else to do. I mean, and then y'all refer me to an attorney, you know, and then y'all ask me for grant money demographics so y'all can get more grant money to tell me just to go hire another attorney. I mean, I'm really boggled by, you know, this whole situation.
Well, I'm sorry, sir. That's the best I can do for you today.
All right, well, I guess maybe I'll try tomorrow. Maybe you can come up with something else. No?
You're welcome to do that, for sure.
All right, well, sounds good. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Yeah, there it is. Completely useless. As you saw in the first part of the video, they ask you some from demographics for grant funding, but they're willing to ask you for grant money, and well, they need those demographics for the grant money, and then as you see, the only thing they do is refer you back to the DRO and to another attorney. Now, some of the things that we know about the DRO, they do the best that they can. The people that we've talked to in the Bexar County Domestic Relations Office, they only get so much funding from the Attorney General, and then they only can do so many cases with that. We've dug up the information on how much money they get. We've dug up the information on where the money goes from the DRO. But I'm hoping that this video will get circulated, and others will be able to see that this access and visitation hotline is just useless. I mean, hire an attorney and talk to the DRO. They obviously don't say anything about Texas Penal Code 25.03. They're part of the Attorney General's office, and as we all know, that the Attorney General's office is the top law officer of the state of Texas. And if anybody should know about Texas Penal Code 25.03 and interference with child custody, it should be the Attorney General's office, and that should be part of maybe a solution that they should give you, a part of this access and visitation hotline. And like I said it before we started, that it's grant money that funds this this hotline, and hopefully we can get this video out to who funds this, so they can see how $900,000 or whatever it is a year that they fund this hotline with, and how useless it is. I mean, I could have told a fifth grader to answer the phone within 2 minutes and just tell you the only two options you have are to hire an attorney or go talk to the DRO. It's really not that hard. Instead, I was on the phone with her for a little over 10 minutes. It took almost 16 minutes for them to answer me. But there you go, people. I wanted to do that. I might do it again in the future with a few more detailed questions. So if y'all have any more ideas, go ahead and shoot them to me. If not, then